Hey, and welcome to That's Not Okay, where we call out red flags, reclaim your voice, and help you heal smart. My name is Alyssa, and I am your host. Today's episode is on why toxic people and narcissistic people, which is both the same thing, shift blame and how that blame subtly erodes your ability to trust your own perceptions. We'll explore what's really happening psychologically, whether the abusers really believe their own distortions, and why it leaves you feeling crazy. So if you've ever been told, you're too sensitive, I didn't mean it that way, you're being dramatic, or that's not what happened, when you've tried to raise a concern with a friend, with your partner, with their family, then this episode is for you. And I want to make two comments. I'm so sorry that I have not posted more consistently lately. I've just had a ton going on, but you've been on my mind. This topic is on my mind. There's just so much going on. But also, I was just diagnosed with some, battered women syndrome, which kind of shocked me, and I really hadn't heard of it, but did some research, and it ties to our topic today. It explains why why abused women and men don't leave their relationship, or at least it offers a partial example of why it's such a challenge. And one of the factors of battered woman syndrome is that you do internalize what your partner or the person who's abusing you is saying, where you do question yourself. In my last relationship, I initially tried to break up with my partner, and I just told him, I'm not good for you. And I knew something was wrong, but I really was like, I can't make this man happy. Everything I do is wrong, and I just don't know what to do. So it makes it really hard to get out of these situations. But I have had several people recently raise why do people stay in that situation topic? And we need to, as a society, shift the focus away from why abused women stay, because I think that's a really easy question to answer. And that is because they've been told they were wrong. And if they really want to stay in a relationship and they think they're going to miss out on a good thing because they are crazy, who's going to leave a situation like that when they might be wrong? Maybe it's not that bad and they're just overreacting. I mean, that's an easy example. What we need to focus on is why the partners think it's okay to treat someone that way. We need to put the focus on removing the issue rather than blaming somebody for questioning their own perceptions, because that's the whole point of an abusive relationship, is to make your partner question their perceptions. So sorry, that was a little bit of a tangent, but anyway, let's go on to what is blame shifting. So blame shifting is redirecting responsibility for one's actions onto someone else to avoid accountability. This can be really indirect. So common phrases you might hear are, well, I wouldn't have done that if you hadn't, or you're overreacting, or that didn't happen, or you made me act that way. And blame shifting is really about self-protection at your expense, escaping consequences, redirecting focus away from the abuser onto you so that you question yourself. And it's about rewriting history in real time. Was the blame deserved? I know I've definitely had those questions. Because when you are healthy, if someone you care about is accusing you of things, you do want to attune to that. You do want to say, well, is what they're saying true? Did I injure them with my injury? But I can answer you unequivocally, no. abuse is never your fault. It's never deserved, no matter how they spin it. I want to be perfectly clear. You, as a human being, for no other reason, are inherently worthy of respect. Everyone is. It recently occurred to me in talking with some friends that I've decided the difference between toxic people and healthy people are, well, the biggest difference is that healthy people believe human beings, every human being, is inherently worthy of respect. Toxic people use respect and withhold respect as a power move. And they do this likely because they weren't taught in their formative years by their caregivers that they were worthy of respect inherently. They felt love and respect had to be earned, not given. And that is not okay. So you can't undo damage that was done. Don't take it upon yourself to be like, oh, I found the problem with my partner. Let me go and tell him. Surely now he or she will see that they are just wounded children. And once I tell them, they'll fix it. No, that never happens. And it's pie in the sky thinking, because sadly, toxic people have built-in defense mechanisms. The best thing you can do is leave. Abusers only change when they make those connections themselves. Inherent in an abusive system is the belief that you in some way are a threat to their well-being. And so you may feel an undercurrent of distrust, and you just think you need to earn their trust. No, don't do it. It doesn't matter. Like, they have to come to those conclusions themselves. If you raise it, they probably will second guess it. So just get out of the situation. Toxic people often also pick partners who are high in empathy and accountability. Why? Because you're more likely to question yourself before questioning them. So they take advantage of your reflection and remorse to insert their own version of the truth. Well, if you hadn't nagged me, I wouldn't have snapped, is a good example. But healthy people still take ownership even when provoked. And that usually looks like, yeah, I did I'm sorry, but I hear what you're saying. Like, you can acknowledge wrong and still say somebody else maybe wasn't minding their P's and Q's in a sense. Here are some signs that it wasn't your fault. If you feel like you're walking on eggshells or can't just explicitly say how you feel to your partner, it's probably not your fault. They've got an issue. If you felt like you were crazy, that's not normal in a healthy relationship. Like, if you should never be made to feel like you are less than or something's wrong with you after raising legitimate concerns in a relationship. If you kept apologizing but things never got better, these are good signs. And I don't mean the fake apologies where you keep doing what you want. I mean, if you're sincerely like, oh yeah, I shouldn't have raised my voice, like I'll work on that or whatever. But things continue to go on. Whatever they complained about, it doesn't improve. If you genuinely are making shifts and taking accountability, then it's probably not you. So here's why toxic people and narcissists do this. I don't know why I'm distinguishing between the two. I'm sorry. They are the same thing, essentially. I mean, there are lots of toxic types of people, but I believe there's inherently a degree of narcissism in a lot of different toxic patterns. So the core reason they do this is to protect their fragile ego and false self-image. Toxic people often believe that they are the protagonist in their own story. They believe they are the hero or heroine or the tragically wounded person, and the world's out to get them. So blame shifting is a defense mechanism. It helps them to avoid shame, maintain control, and preserve a narrative, again, where they're always the victim or the hero. It also serves a social purpose. It keeps others confused, so it makes the person doing it feel powerful. It disarms you from making boundaries, so you don't feel as comfortable saying no. And it makes you easier to manipulate over time. We are social creatures, so if someone we love repeatedly is telling us something we're doing is not right, we do begin to second guess ourselves. And narcissistic supply equals attention and power. And the attention doesn't have to be positive. It just means that you're paying them attention. So if they can make you doubt your own reality, they stay in control. Now here's the question. Do these toxic people believe their own lies? Surprisingly, sometimes, yes. Many narcissists live in a distorted version of reality to avoid their internal collapse. I've dealt with this where someone can do something and you ask them about it, and not 2 seconds later, they genuinely seem confused by why you're bothered by what they're doing. This drives me insane because it's like, why is this happening? It's gaslighting 100%. Just know that a lot of these people are deeply broken, wounded people with pathologies that they lack the awareness to even address. And that's not a safe environment for you to be around, and you can't fix it. So a lot of times they believe they are the victim. They believe they are the hero because admitting otherwise would be intolerable. Maybe in childhood they were punished for doing wrong or being wrong. So you never know. You can empathize and still get out of the situation because you can't fix it. But other times, whether they believe their lies or not, the answer is no. Sometimes narcissists weaponize lies consciously when it benefits them. I experienced this a lot in my most recent relationship, where the deceit was just right there, and it was enduring and pervasive, and blatantly contradictory words would be said to others in front of me. But in private, if I addressed the situation, denial, lies, completely fabricated reality where I'm like questioning everything. So they know they're being manipulative in certain circumstances. The bottom line is, though, that whether or not they believe it, you are still left harmed and destabilized. So here's how it erodes your self-trust to be blame shifted and have your needs weaponized against you. So gaslighting, micro-undermining, and rewriting events starts to make you think, maybe there is something wrong with me. You start to second-guess your own memories or whether you hear right or see right. You become dependent on their version of the truth just to function day to day. Over time, you feel like you can't make decisions. You're stuck. I'm so sorry. You're stuck in a fog. Your instincts are just wrong. And the truth is, though, that you were just being rewritten in real time to serve your partner's comfort. So don't take it on yourself. Don't let yourself be browbeaten and into believing that you are to blame or deserving of that kind of treatment. A healthy relationship and a healthy partner hears what you're saying and doesn't respond in anger or deflection, doesn't withhold affection to punish you, doesn't hold themselves above you. They aren't pandering to you. They're not doing you a favor by being in a relationship with you. The right partner for you makes you feel extremely valuable and adored and exclusively cared for and like you matter, because you do. If you hear nothing else, just hear that you do matter just based on being a human being. You don't have to be perfect to matter. If that were the rule, no one would matter. So just understand that your wounds, your weaknesses, your flaws, they may be weaponized by the wrong person against you to make you feel worse about yourself, But those qualities with the right person actually are strengths. They make you human and who you are. So just own that. Step away from people that undermine that reality for you. In closing, here's how you can start to reclaim your truth. Start by naming the pattern. Say it out loud. You are gaslighting me, or you're blaming me for a situation that I raised with you. That's a non-starter. I think I've mentioned this in earlier podcasts, I've even in real time been able to identify you are being sarcastic. You are angry with me. You're blaming me, or, just say it out loud and identify what's going on so that they know the mask has fallen. You've seen beneath the mask and you are not fooled anymore. But don't do it if it's a danger to you. Always be cautious. Some people may be more physically violent than others. And sadly, when you have someone willing to do emotional and psychological abuse, probably physical abuse is not out of the question. Be it withholding bodily affection, be it scaring you when driving, different things that make you feel in bodily danger. If they punch steering wheels, if they hit tables, if they refuse to hug you, if they refuse you physical contact for long, lengthy periods of time, days, weeks, months, this is physical abuse. You cannot live like that. Healthy relationships have that connection built in. So just understand that's not okay either. Write things down. Keep a journal. Keep receipts. When things happen, write it down. This will empower you. If you're leaving a relationship, if you're getting a divorce, you want to show, hey, on this day, this happened. This is how it made me feel. In my last relationship, I kept a journal, and in researching leaving the relationship, I learned that, oh my gosh, people encourage you to have a journal of things. And I was like, wow. So, all these journal entries where I talk about feeling I'm not worthy of living, this is really matters. Oh, when I documented things that happened, that shows that there's validity to what I was saying. So, just get in touch with yourself. It's not only good for external purposes, it's good for you. My therapist, who I implicitly trust, I really like him. He said journaling is as good as talking to a qualified, good therapist, and I agree with him. It has been extremely healing for me, and when I look back at journal entries, I'm like, I am getting better. I'm still not great in ways, but I am thinking more fluidly, and just getting those yucky feelings out helps a lot. And talk to someone grounded. Again, find a therapist, get on Bumble BFF, and start making girlfriends or guy friends who share your values. It has been the most healing thing for me to meet people who are like-minded with me. I have been for several years surrounded by people who had really skewed realities and who mistreated me, and finding people, and made me question whether my values were even valid. But finding healthy, wonderful people on Bumble BFF has absolutely saved my life, and made me feel like, oh my gosh, thank goodness there are people like me out there. I was just so isolated. So get out there and meet new people. And talk to someone grounded, and talk to God. If you're not religious, explore it. Your spirituality is important. And so, I myself am a Christian, and knowing God and kind of understanding why there's evil in the world has given me such an encouraging lift throughout all this. And though I no longer say I know what God's will is, I don't. I know that it's good, and it may not look like it in the short term, but it will pay off in the long term. I believe that. Speak words of truth over yourself. So say it as a mantra. If it happened, it happened. I'm allowed to believe myself. It's really sad when you have to say things like that out loud to yourself, but the power of auditory learning is real. Speak words of affirmation to yourself. I am worthy of love. I am intelligent. I am smart. I am a human being. I do not deserve to be dehumanized. And just speak it. Your ears are listening, and you have that power. So to wrap it up, you are not crazy. You are not dramatic. You've been with someone who needed you to believe that you were, but you're waking up, and that's powerful. So thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of That's Not Okay. And I look forward to talking to you in the next episode. I will try my best to be more consistent going forward. Thank you. Bye-bye.